greetings from our channel again. In addition to his renowned movies and exuberant disco routines, John Travolta is also linked to long-standing tragedies and scandals that lie behind Hollywood and #039's glitzy exterior. On the outside, he appears to be a prosperous celebrity who always dazzles on the red carpet and in captivating roles. However, beneath a movie star and #039's flawless veneer are tales of love, grief, and brewing scandals. John Travolta has decided to speak up despite the persistent accusations about his private life, exposing a side of himself that few would have ever thought possible. What transpired following the consecutive defeats? Has he really found love again? We will learn about the lesser-known facets of John Travolta and #039's life in this video. From the height of his professional success to the nooks and crannies of his private life. There are some tales that you may believe you are familiar with, yet there is still much to learn. Early years? Born in Englewood, New Jersey, USA, on February 18, 1954, John Travolta was the youngest of 6 siblings. Salvatore Travolta, his father, used to play professional football and now works as a tire salesman. Was a singer and amateur actress who also taught acting. As Travolta grew up, his family and #039's distinctive cultural mixture was influenced by his mother and #039's Irish ancestry and his father and #039's Italian heritage. Travolta and #039's mother operated an acting and art school, so he was exposed to the arts from an early age. John Travolta and #039's early love of the performing arts was greatly influenced by her. John made the decision to become an actor after high school and relocated to New York, where he made his acting debut by taking part in theater performances and minor plays. This was the start of what would turn out to be one of the most well-known acting careers in the 1970s and 1980s. John Travolta is more than just a normal movie star, his famous roles have influenced a whole generation. A bright future for Travolta in the Hollywood spotlight was paved in the 1970s by parts that showcased his distinct style. John Travolta was born in Englewood, New Jersey, in 1954 into a family of artists. He was the youngest of 6 siblings. His mother, Helen Cecilia Burke, was a drama teacher and actor, and his father, Salvatore Travolta, was a semi-professional football player who eventually worked in business. His love of the arts was initially cultivated by his mother, who encouraged him to explore acting and performing at an early age. Travolta shone his talent and love for the stage even as a young man. In order to pursue his passion, he bravely decided to leave high school at the age of 16 and relocate to New York in pursuit of acting roles. He first established his reputation by appearing in plays and short TV series. His portrayal of Tony Manero in Saturday Night Fever, 1977, was Travolta and #039's breakthrough performance, changing not just his career but also the direction of popular culture. Travolta became a representation of youth at the time by playing a young guy who uses dance and music to try to transcend his working-class origins. He was nominated for an Academy Award for the role, which solidified his reputation among viewers throughout the globe. Shortly after, Travolta maintained his dominance on the big screen by playing Danny Zuko in the love musical Grease, 1978, which is still regarded as one of the most famous movies to this day. In addition to being movie office successes, Saturday Night Fever and Grease helped make John Travolta a household name in Hollywood and a representation of the decade and beyond. The Boy in the Plastic Bubble, a 1976 television movie, was Travolta and #039's first significant hit before his huge success with Saturday Night Fever and Grease. He portrayed an immune-deficient youngster in the movie who was forced to live in a plastic bubble in total seclusion. Travolta and #039's acting talent was established early in his career thanks to this poignant part that attracted a lot of attention from both critics and spectators. In addition to being a turning point in Travolta and #039's career, the movie also signaled the start of a bright future in the motion picture business. His career took off after that, and he was soon to have more possibilities. Following Saturday Night Fever and #039's heyday in Grease, John Travolta and #039's career kept growing and changing. He won over viewers in the 1990s with a variety of parts, including comedic performances in Get Shorty, 1995, strong action roles in Face Off, 1997, and Vincent Vega in a picture that revolutionized international cinema. These positions not only strengthened his standing but also won him the respect of both detractors and colleagues. Travolta is a constantly changing actor who is always well-liked by the public because of his versatility in a variety of genres, including comedy, drama, and action. Over the course of his multi-decade cinematic career, he was able to accumulate a sizable fortune, up to $250 million, from both his involvement in big motion pictures and other ventures. Personal tragedies. John Travolta has experienced great sadness throughout his life, even though he has had tremendous success in his business. Travolta appears to be a man who is always happy and robust from the outside. However, few are aware of the significant personal losses he has experienced. In Greece, 1978, John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John and #039's bond went well beyond the movie screen. Decades passed during that time. Millions of admirers fell in love with the pair as soon as they played Danny and Sandy. Behind the scenes, though, Travolta and Olivia forged a close and enduring connection that lasted the rest of their lives. John Travolta suffered a terrible loss when Olivia Newton-John died in August 2022 following a protracted fight with cancer. Her followers around the world also mourned her passing. Olivia was a beloved soulmate in addition to being a co-star. Travolta shared a poignant tribute on social media on the day she died away, expressing his loss. "You have my undying love. We and #039, we're going to cross paths again and be together again. Yours forever, from the first time I laid eyes on you. You're Danny, you're John," end quote. Shortly after Olivia and #039's passing, Travolta faced another tragedy, the death of his longtime friend and co-star, Kirstie Alley. John and Kirstie starred together in the romantic comedy series Look Who and #039's Talking from the late 1980s, creating a delightful and charming on-screen pair. Their bond extended beyond the set, growing into a deep and genuine friendship in real life. In December 2022, Kirstie Alley passed away after her own battle with cancer. For John Travolta, Kirstie and #039's death was not just the loss of a co-star, but a heart-wrenching moment of losing a dear friend with whom he shared countless memories. Upon hearing the news, John expressed his sorrow on social media. "Kirstie was one of the most special relationships I and #039 ever had. I love you. We will see each other again," end quote. The lasting friendships and genuine connections Travolta shared with both Olivia Newton-John and Kirstie Alley have left an indelible mark on his life, as well as on the hearts of audiences. Travolta and #039's life has an unfillable hole left by their passing. John Travolta has had to deal with ongoing speculations about his romantic life in addition to personal tragedy. His supposed homosexual relationship with his private pilot, Douglas Gotterba, was one of the most prominent allegations. According to Gotterba, they had a passionate affair for 6 years. In a media interview, Gotterba asserted in public that their relationship was genuine. Travolta and #039's family, however, denied these claims, claiming they were ludicrous and unfounded. Media rumors over Travolta and #039's sexual orientation were also stoked by images that showed him interacting closely with both male and female pals. In response, Travolta denied all of the accusations, saying that he shows love for close friends of any gender. These rumors, however, have persisted throughout Travolta and #039's life and have consistently sparked debate regarding his private life. Married life? Despite all of the ups and downs, his relationship with actress Kelly Preston was the one that held firm and served as his greatest source of support. Their path of love was both lovely and agonizing. It was laced with profound sadness and everlasting memories. A tragic encounter on the set of The Experts in 1987 marked the beginning of John Travolta and Kelly Preston and #039's affair. They clicked from the first second, but because Kelly was in another relationship at the time, their sentiments couldn't and #039T blossom right away. But fate did not separate them for very long. Their romance was rekindled in 1990 when they met up again in Vancouver while working on a different movie. They quickly came to the conclusion that they were destined to be together. In Paris, in a modest, beautiful ceremony. Their marriage did not, however, begin without issues. They had to have a second ceremony in Daytona Beach to legally wed after their first wedding was performed by a Church of Scientology member, making it illegal. The difficulties in their relationship only served to deepen their connection. John frequently talked about how, after years of living under the stress of Hollywood and #039's spotlight, Kelly gave him contentment and serenity. But their tranquility was short-lived. The biggest sorrow of their lives occurred in 2009 when Jet, their oldest son, unexpectedly died while on a family vacation in the Bahamas at the age of 16. There was a tragic moment when Jet, who had autism and Kawasaki illness, died after a seizure. The Travolta family was deeply shocked by Jet and #039's passing. The son that John and Kelly loved the most was gone. Their entire world almost fell apart. End quote, "There are no words to describe the pain of losing Jet," end quote, John once said. "Kelly and I were torn apart by it." Their entire family was shaken by the tragedy, which left them inconsolable for a long period. For the benefit of both themselves and their daughter Ella, John and Kelly made the decision to proceed. A tiny bright spot in the otherwise bleak chapter of their lives was restored a year later when Kelly became pregnant and gave birth to their son, Benjamin. John added in a passionate voice, end quote, "Ben gave us hope and a fresh start," end quote, "Life put them to the test once more just when they believed they had at last found serenity." Kelly Preston received a breast cancer diagnosis in 2018. Kelly made the decision to fight her battle in private, keeping it out of the spotlight, in contrast to many popular individuals. John never left Kelly and #039's side over the 2 years that passed. He was always there to support her emotionally. But after months of valiant battle, Kelly died in July 2020. Not only did John lose his wife this time, but he also lost his soulmate, the companion who had supported him for 30 years. John posted his last homage to Kelly on social media. "I regret to inform you of my lovely wife Kelly and #039's passing after a 2-year fight with breast cancer. She bravely fought and won the affection of many. She has our eternal gratitude." These were not merely words of sorrow, but also a testament to John and #039's admiration and affection for Kelly, the woman who had supported him through every challenge in life. Many people started to question whether John Travolta would ever find love again after Kelly Preston and #039's death. Without a doubt, losing the person he had spent over 30 years with was an incalculable loss. Nonetheless, there are indications that Travolta might be progressively letting go of his attachment to Kelly after a protracted period of clinging to his memories of her. John Travolta and #039's romantic life has been the subject of gossip ever since Kelly passed away in 2020. Rumor has it that he might be prepared to move on and look for a new relationship after going through so much grief and loss. According to family sources, Travolta and #039's friends and loved ones are urging him to rediscover happiness. According to a close family friend, Kelly was constantly thinking about John and felt that she would have wanted the same. She didn't and #039T want him to be alone forever and understood that he would have to live on. Even if it and #039's without her by his side, she would hope he finds happiness and love once more. Regarding whether John is dating or prepared to enter into a new relationship, this has generated a lot of conjecture. Images of Travolta with female acquaintances or co-workers are frequently exaggerated and used as the basis for rumors about his purported new romance. Travolta himself hasn't and #039T provided an official confirmation, though. John Travolta has not openly acknowledged any love relationships, despite the numerous allegations that have been swirling about his personal life. It and #039 probably clear to his admirers that moving on would be difficult following a love as deep as the one he shared. Perhaps, though, Travolta understands that life must carry on, just like many others. According to recent remarks he has made, he is slowly letting go of his love and memories for Kelly while still embracing the future. One of John and #039's close friends commented, end quote, "It and #039's been a long journey of healing and moving forward," end quote. However, John has realized that falling in love again and #039 make his memories of her any less vivid. It and #039's simply a part of the next chapter, one that she would undoubtedly want him to go through. People have speculated that Travolta might be looking for new happiness because of his calm manner and the encouraging indications from his recent life, even if he hasn't and #039 confirmed any new connections. The public can only wait to see what happens in the next part of the love story of a guy who has survived so much tragedy and still maintains optimism, though, as this remains a mystery, will endure. When John Travolta made an appearance at the 2023 Academy Awards with a special job to remember two great friends who had passed away, Olivia Newton-John and Kirstie Alley, he left everyone silent after all the rumors and suspicions about his future. The audience witnessed a very moved John Travolta, who was no longer a man of strength but rather a guy lamenting the passing of friends who had had a profound impact on his life. Travolta found it difficult to control his emotions as he stood in front of millions of people. Paying homage to his dear pals during the in memoriam section was not an easy chore for him. It was more than simply a formal obligation to John. Sharing his sorrow with the world was a very intimate moment. Travolta was clearly moved when it came time to honor Olivia Newton-John, as he fervently devoted to You from Greece, the movie that had bound them together for so long. We will always be hopelessly attached to them since they have warmed our hearts, brought us joy, and become close friends. In addition to being a dignified homage, these remarks reaffirm John and Olivia and #039's lovely, sincere friendship, a connection that went beyond the limelight. Olivia was more than simply a co-star to John, she was a friend for life who he would always remember. John also made time to pay tribute to his friend Kirstie Alley, with whom he had many special moments during the Look Who and #039's talking series. John had lost two of his closest friends in a year, so Kirstie and #039's passing in late 2022 was yet another painful blow. John commended Kirstie and #039's bravery in battling illness while reminiscing about their happy times together on the Oscar stage. In that moving scene, Travolta revealed to the world that beneath the Hollywood icon lay a guy who had suffered great loss but who still held his friends and #039 memories close to his heart. Current circumstances. John Travolta appears to have found some peace in his life after years of turmoil and loss. Even though he has had many personal traumas, he has remained positive and tries to cherish the good times with his family, especially his two cherished children. Travolta took his kids, Ella and Benjamin, on a special trip to Japan in the summer of 2023. They immersed themselves in beautiful scenery, shared happy moments, and spent time learning about the nation and #039's customs and culture. Being with his loved ones has helped John gradually recover the joy of life. John used this vacation as a means of healing his emotional scars in addition to giving him and his kids the chance to explore a different culture. Every moment, from Japan and #039's tranquil scenery to its distinctive food, made John understand that happiness can be found in the little things and that life goes on. He showed his kids happy pictures of himself, demonstrating how, in spite of everything they have been through, their relationship has become stronger than before. Fans are still curious about John Travolta and #039's future, despite the fact that he has found equilibrium in his life. Will John continue to work on new movies after years at the height of his performing career? Or is he going to decide to live a quiet life with his family? John has always been passionate about flying, and maybe he will dedicate more time to this endeavor. Furthermore, a lot of people continue to question if John will ever find love again in light of everything that has happened to him. John keeps his personal life hidden, despite the persistent whispers, and the answer might not be known until he is ready to let his heart open again. We can only speculate as to what course John Travolta may take in life, but it is safe to assume that his love for his family and his enthusiasm for life will continue to direct him. Let and hashtag 039s anticipate the surprises that will come from a man who has won over millions of fans worldwide in addition to Hollywood. Along with his incredible professional achievement, John Travolta and hashtag 039s journey is a testament to his grit and fortitude. John has always been resilient, moving forward with hope and unwavering resolve despite the loss of his loved ones, including his wife Kelly Preston, son Jet, and two close friends Olivia Newton-John and Kirstie Alley, as well as the high points of his acting career, when he played parts that have become cultural icons. John Travolta has persevered through all the difficulties. From his family to his love of flying, he constantly finds happiness and purpose in the little things. He has recovered from such devastating losses thanks to time spent with his kids and treasured vacations. John has transformed from an international celebrity to a loving parent and a man who finds joy in life and hashtag 039s little pleasures. We can only look forward to the upcoming chapters of this incredible tale as his adventure continues to unfold. Will John follow his love of flying, or will he still be a star on the big screen? Although his future is yet unknown, he will undoubtedly continue to live his life with unwavering love and devotion for his family. Please feel free to leave your views and opinions in the comments area if John Travolta and hashtag 039s tale has moved you. Remember to subscribe to the channel in order to continue reading more gripping and heartwarming tales about the celebrities you adore. I appreciate you waiting. I and hashtag 039 LL see you in the following videos.